Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us this morning. Today I have Pastor Tim Stevens from the Callaway Assembly of God, and I also have an old friend of the show here, well not so old, Jay Furr from Gears Transmissions.
Hey.
Now, Jay, you brought Pastor Tim in today to talk about, and that's your parish where you go.
That's where I attend.
You're a parishioner there. And Pastor Tim, you're the man there.
Yep.
But you brought him in today to talk about a really cool charity that you have going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Heart to Hands.
Heart to Hands.
Heart to Hands. That is a ministry that the church has been doing for, say, about the past 10, 11 years. And the church just saw a need in the community for people that needed food and clothing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the community, they're going through a rough spot, and they need a little pick-me-up, a little help.
And with the economy the way it is, I think we're finding more and more people like that.
Absolutely.
You talk to people who run local food pantries, and you see soccer moms coming by.
Oh, absolutely.
That normally you wouldn't see.
You'll have people that'll stop by the church who are regulars. They'll come every month, and then you'll have people that'll come, one time, and you'll never see them again. People that are just kind of going through that hard time of making it to the next paycheck for that month, And we do it the second Monday of each month.
So the second Monday of every month, if you need help.
Yep, second Monday of every month from 5 to 6. And if you need help, there's no requirements, just anybody. Anybody can stop by.
You don't have to be a member.
You don't have to be a member, just anybody in the community. And we offer a bag of groceries, and we offer a hot meal, and we offer clothing. And we pray with everyone that comes through to kind of talk to them and just anything we can do to be an encouragement to them.
Just kind of minister to them a little
absolutely.
bit. Absolutely. It's funny because we all have ups and downs in life, and prosperity, as Jay can tell you, is a snapshot in time.
Yep.
You have your highs, you have your lows, you have your fat times, you have your lean times, and at some point during our lives, we're all going to need a hand up.
Absolutely. You never know whenever that rough spot's going to hit, And it's nice to know that there's people in the community that care about the community. And that's one great thing about the people at Callaway Assembly of God is they really have a heart for the community, reaching out and doing what they can, We wish we could do more than we are, but thank God there's a group of people that see a need in the community and they do what they can to meet that need.
And what do? Do they donate money? Do they donate food, clothes? I mean, how's all this work? Where do you get all this stuff to help people with?
Everything that we do is completely and totally funded and run by volunteers from the church once a month. And we will feed anywhere from 35 to 65 families on that second Monday of the month from 5 to 6.
In that 1 hour period.
In that 1 hour period.
Wow.
It's a line around the building.
Absolutely. They start lining up a couple hours before, and we have people, I will show up to work, Don, at the office, and that morning there'll be a bag of clothes at the front door, back door, side door that somebody in the community has benefited from the Heart to Hands, and they want to give back.
Isn't that something?
And so there'll be bags of clothes or items that we can give away and help out, and they'll come back. We've had one time someone came through the Heart to Hands, and they had their meal, and they came back through and they said, listen, I have an insulin pump that I don't need anymore. Here, can you give this to someone? And although we don't tend to give out items other than clothing, that's just an example of somebody that just really wants to give back.
Pastor Tim, we have to run off to the local weather, but on the other side of this break, I want to talk about how people can help. I want to talk about the demonstrable need for the type of service that you're providing that exists in our community today.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I have Pastor Tim Stevens in the studio along with our old friend Jay Furr.
Hey, Don.
or what do we call him? Harry J?
Harry J.
Harry J. Harry J here from the Callaway Assembly of God. And we were talking about this Heart to Hands program or charity that you're running out of the church there, where you're feeding people on the second Tuesday of every month.
Second Monday.
Second Monday, second Monday of every month.
From 5 to 6.
From 5 to 6, people show up and you give them clothing, a hot meal, and groceries to go.
Absolutely.
And along with a little counseling and maybe some ministry.
Absolutely.
I had an experience, and I've been very fortunate in my life, just as a military retiree, and and I've tried to do some volunteer stuff. And there was a while there where I was delivering Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I saw neighborhoods I never knew existed.
Absolutely.
I saw people living in conditions I couldn't relate to.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
That's
get
the way
out
it
there,
used to be, though. Nowadays, it's the people that have a full home and they don't rent. I mean, we see people come in this dinner or this feeding that are families, entire families, that are working, but yet they just are a little bit short.
you've got almost what we call the working poor. And
Yeah,
and my
absolutely.
dad was a
The
city
middle
worker.
class.
Yeah, the middle class, with the so-called middle class. My
Sorry.
dad used to tell us, he says, the only difference between us and the homeless is about 3 months' pay.
Amen. That's
Yeah.
true.
And you know, and that can be very true in most cases.
Absolutely.
And we live in an area where, you know, we have great abundance, but we also have people who are on the edge, living on the edge. Isn't that right?
There's a lot of people that really need that little extra help, and you'll never know how much it means to somebody to simply have somewhere to go, to have somebody that will express some interest and some desire to be there to help out. Heart to Hands is just one aspect of what the church does to reach out to our community. We also, every year, we have a back to school giveaway because it's just in the heart of this church family. And we really are a church family to reach out to the community and to be involved in helping any way we can.
And back
you
to
know?
school is one of those times. I remember
Yeah.
when Mom used to take us out, and we'd all get new shoes.
Oh
and,
yeah,
you
yep.
know,
It's
and
expensive,
it
you know.
is.
And we used to provide school supplies years ago, and a lot of
Now you
people
can't,
started
can you?
doing that. And so now what we started doing is we started providing backpacks and going back to school. And so that'll be around, you know, right before school gets started and stuff. But
yeah. And kids need uniforms, they need backpacks, they need school
Absolutely.
supplies, they need clothes.
Yes.
I mean, I knew the beginning of the school year just meant new wardrobe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate because Dad was a hardworking guy.
Yeah,
You know, but
yeah.
you have hardworking people now who can't
Yeah.
do that for their kids.
And you'll have people that come through and they're hard workers and they're great people and through no fault of their own, they found themselves in a situation where they've been struck with an illness or disease, and they've gone through the treatments, they've gone through a lot of effort and energy and expense, and so they find themselves in a position where they need some help.
How can people help? How can people help you help others? If they're watching this right now, say, hey, I don't live in Callaway, and I don't go to your church, but how can I help you out?
The major thing that we could use to help people out would be donations of money to help us purchase the food and to keep the things going. That is the easiest thing to do. But also there's been other things. If there's somebody watching who collects food as part of their business, you know, around Thanksgiving or Christmas, of things of that nature.
So you will take all kinds of donations,
Absolutely.
whether they be clothing, food, money,
Sure.
and how do we do that? How do we get in touch with you? Do you have a website or a
We
phone
do.
number?
We have a website, CallawayAG.org. CallawayAG.org. And
CallawayAG.org. If you want to help
Absolutely.
Heart to Hands or Pastor Tim out there at Callaway Assembly of God. Jay, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
bringing the good pastor in here
Absolutely.
today.
I just like to finally listen for a change.
Yeah. You'll have your opportunity to
Maybe
talk
I'll like
some more
this.
very soon. Thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll be right back.
Hi, this is David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Whenever you purchase a new car, look in your glove box. There's a little book in there. It's called your owner's manual. Your owner's manual is probably the least read book in the world. However, it provides critical information about your vehicle. Specifically, in the back of the owner's guide, there's a schedule of preventative maintenance that you should be doing on a mileage-to-mileage basis. Everyone knows that the engine oil change has to be changed. You change your engine oil anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on what type of vehicle you have and what type of oil you're using. But there are several other things that if you neglect, it's going to cost you lots of money in the long run. The first thing is the timing belt. If you have a vehicle that has a timing belt on it, that is a rubber belt that's located behind the timing cover. You can't see it. It's invisible to you, but it's inside the vehicle. It has to be changed. Every 60,000 miles, you change your timing belt. You change your timing belt and you change your cam seals while you're there. Failure to change the timing belt can result in the timing belt itself snapping and doing serious damage to your motor. And for a couple $100, preventative maintenance, do yourself a favor, change the timing belt. Secondly, it's your transmission fluid. Nobody thinks about your transmission fluid. Transmission is an oil just as your engine oil is. There's a pan at the bottom of the car, it has a filter in it, and it filters out all the contaminants. If you don't change your transmission fluid on a regular basis, about every 45,000 miles, that transmission fluid burns and you start doing damage to your transmission, and again, you're looking at a serious repair. Don't neglect preventive maintenance on your vehicle. If you plan to keep your vehicle, you need to do your preventative maintenance and do it as prescribed with the owner's manual. This is David Lovett, and that has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Welcome back to the show. I have Dr. Ron Johnston from Advanced Dermatology and Skin Care Center here in Panama City. Thank you for letting me read your pocket, and welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Good morning.
You know, we live in Florida. Summer's over. However, the sun is still pretty intense this time of year. We're getting some clear days, and it's been kind of nice. Should we still be worried about skin cancer?
Oh, absolutely. You should always be worried about sun protection, especially in the South. You're getting sun. I mean, it's sunny here 300 and whatever days a year, so you should always be worried about sun protection. So I encourage my patients to always wear a sunscreen. I mean, in women's makeup now and moisturizers, almost everything's got a little bit of sunscreen in it, SPF of 15. And the more you use it, because the damage the sun causes is cumulative. So it's the 15 minutes here, it's the 20 minutes here, it's the 5 minutes walking the dog. All that over 20, 30 years adds up to thousands of hours without ever going to the beach.
I think it could be rather deceptive too. When it's cool out and it's clear out and it's a sunny day, you're like, yeah, I don't need to hide for the sun because I'm not hot.
Right, and then some people think that just because it's cloudy or they're in the shade, they don't need to wear sunscreen. But the water as well as just the sand around here can reflect maybe 20 to 25% of the sun's rays. So even if you're sitting in the shade, you know, you're going to get, you know, sun exposure out there.
Yeah, especially our sugar white sands that we have here. You know, I was always one of those guys when I was younger. It's like, hey, I'm dark. I've got that swarthy olive picking complexion. I don't need to worry about sun protection. And boy, was I wrong. I mean, I got a couple of really bad burns as a young guy, you know, knocking around on the beach. Does skin type really make a difference in the type of skin protection that you use?
It does. I mean, as far as your skin type, whether you're sort of a lighter skin or a darker skin type, gives you a little bit of protection. But what they've estimated is that it only gives you maybe 2 to 3 SPF. So it only gives you a little bit more protection. You can still burn. That's why you see in some darker skinned individuals where they'll still have darker neck areas and face areas, and then you look at their trunk areas and it'll be a lighter color because they can still tan. So
You've been peeking through my window. I can tell.
No.
You get the farmer's tan, and that's me. I'm like the two-tone man. You know, from here down, I'm a lot lighter than here up because I get a tan. I tan very easily, and I get a tan through the windshield. Right. You know, I'm driving my car, you know, my knuckles in my face, and that's about it.
That's where you see a lot of the sun damage. And, you know, we're not only just worried about skin cancer. You've got wrinkles, age spots, different things that can cause things, damage your skin. And you'll see a lot of it on the back of the hands, again, from chronic drivers or long-term drivers who drive trucking and things like that. And then a lot of the damage you'll see is on necks of individuals. You know, sometimes women or people do a good job with their face, but they don't protect their neck or their upper chest area, where they get a lot of sun exposure, and so you'll see a lot of sun damage on the neck, and then you'll see some nice skin underneath where your chin protected you, but so you'll see sort of a V of the sun damage.
Wow. So besides protecting yourself from that with sunblock, what's the remedy for that once your skin is damaged like that?
Well, once your skin is damaged, I mean, obviously we try to encourage prevention further. So we try to encourage using daily sunscreen, putting on sunscreen every 2 hours when you go out. Use the appropriate sunscreen in the appropriate amount, which means applying it every 2 hours, and using about a nickel size to treat something like your face. As far as treating it once you've got it, well, now you're talking more probably cosmetic. There's Botox that can help with your wrinkles. There's fillers that can help with your deep wrinkles around your mouth. And increase the volume in your cheeks. And then there's lasers such as some of the resurfacing lasers, or we have some other lasers that can work on the brown spots that can sort of get rid of the brown spots and the damage that's on the neck and the upper chest area.
Besides the cosmetic effects that the sun has on your face and maybe your neck or hands or whatever, you know, there's a real health risk too, isn't there? I mean, skin cancer is pretty prevalent, isn't it?
It is. I mean, there's the 3 main types of skin cancers. There's basal cell carcinoma, which is the most common. Squamous cell carcinoma is the second, and the third one's melanoma. Now, melanoma gets a lot of the publicity because it's the deadly one. Typically, you don't die from basal cells and squamous cells, although they can be destructive in those areas and on some instances metastasize. But melanoma is the big one that'll kill you. And that's the one that it doesn't even need the sun. So you've got to check all of your skin as far as being aware of not only the exposed areas but also the unexposed areas, because melanoma is associated with the sun, but it doesn't have to have the sun. It can grow anywhere it wants as far as that goes.
So you could live in Alaska or the Pacific Northwest and still have a melanoma.
Correct, and it could be on the darkest spot on your body, on your hip or somewhere like that that's never really seen a lot of sun. So again, it's important. But sun does play a factor as far as increasing your risk, as well as your skin type. Lighter skin types, red hair, light-colored hairs, you're going to have more of a risk than for some.
What should we be looking for? How would we do like a self-inspection? And what are the things we should keep an eye out for? I
try to encourage that you do a skin inspection about once a month. If you don't do it at least once a month, first of all, you won't know what's changed or what's new. And I try to keep it simple. You hear the ABCDs of looking for your skin, which is asymmetry, border, color, diameter. I try to keep it a little bit more simple for my patients and say, look, just look for anything that's new or look for anything that's changing. And change can include size, color, shape, it itches, it bleeds, anything like that. Basal cells, squamous cells will typically be hard crusted areas or places that just don't heal. They bleed very easily, never go away, and those are more indicative of those types of.
So that would look sort of like a beauty mark that's run amok, or
a melanoma or a pigmented lesion will be something like that. That'll be just looks a little darker than your other moles. It's growing. It just looks irregular colored. Those are ones you definitely want to get checked.
So the good rule of thumb is just look for any strange changes or anything that might cause discomfort, and have your doctor take a look at it.
Absolutely, get your doctor to take a look at it, or get referred to a dermatologist and let us take a look at it.
Dr. Ron Johnston from Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, thanks so much for coming on the show and getting us smart about our skin.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Pamela Elliott at Elliott Talent Agency and Elliott Vocal Studios, and we're here with William and Evil. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Y'all having fun?
A blast.
Y'all got another one for us?
Sure do.
Very cool. Y'all give it up for William and Evil.
This song's called Happy Guy. It's about being happy. I feel the water break at my feet. I feel the pretty girl beside me. Ice cold beer in the cooler, and it's nice to have my own slice of paradise. Drink up, 'cause it's the best that it's ever been. Demons in the past are not coming back again. And on my journey I found my smile. It's been with me for a while. Guess I'm just a happy guy. Ain't no one gonna bring me down. Life sends me a frown. I turn it upside down. Not really hard if you try. Life's all about what you perceive. And I can see that it looks so good to me. Well, I've accomplished so very much. All my family, we stay in touch. It is one love and it's strong. So if I'm feeling alone, all I do is pick up the telephone. Said, son, oh my, heck, have you grown? When your dreams come true, are you coming home? Well, I just sit and I chat for a while, 'cause they make me smile. Yes, I'm just a happy guy. Ain't no one gonna bring me down. Life sends me a frown. I turn it upside down. Not really hard if you try. Life's all about what you perceive. And I can see that it looks so good to me. I can't stop this feeling. I won't stop this feeling for you. I can't stop this feeling, this love that I'm feeling for you and me. Well, I guess I'm just a happy guy. Ain't no one gonna bring me down. Life sends me a frown, I turn it upside down. Not really hard if you try. Life's all about what you perceive. And as I can see, it looks so good to me. Guess I'm just a happy guy. Ain't no one gonna bring me down. Ain't nothing gonna bother me. Ain't got no worries. Yes, I'm just a happy guy. Ain't no one gonna slow me down. Ain't nothing gonna bother me. Ain't got no worries.